wander around a warehouse looking for somebody to help you. Nope, you have a list of things and Ace has them. From lawn and garden brands you trust. We also have local experts who make sure you get everything you need. Because at Ace, we have our own list and great service is at the top.
Hi, this is Shelley at Gibson Ace in Clinton, the helpful place. Stop by our store today where our helpful staff are ready to assist you.
Shop local first.
The economic health of our community rests with each of us, with our own pocketbooks. Economists tell us that the dollar spent at a local store is spent multiple times before it leaves our local area. From $1, you create $5 to $14 in value within the local area. The Miller Media Group and this local business encourage you to shop local first. First National Bank and Trust in Clinton. Do more with your money at First National Bank and Trust, member FDIC. This local business and the Miller Media Group ask you to shop local first.
Shop local first.
CEO Paul Skowron here from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. We're proud to be the title sponsor of WHOW and WEZC's Sounds of the Season nonstop Christmas music, December 24th and 25th for the 7th consecutive year. Tune your radio to either station from noon, Christmas Eve through midnight on Christmas Day, as many of our staff wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas.
You're listening to The Morning Show, streamed by clicking the WHOW live icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest on the phone is Connie Unruh with the TS Institute and the First National Bank here in Clinton. Good morning, Connie. How are you today?
I'm great, Seth. Great to be with you.
Good. Yeah. Thanks for coming on. It's always good to have you. And I'm curious, Connie, I have to confess, I apologize. I did not get to be at the Christmas Bazaar this past weekend. I ended up with a little bit more going on Saturday than I originally anticipated. So I didn't get to make it over to the vault. But how did the Christmas Bazaar go for your BizzTown kids?
It went so well. We had such a great turnout, and the community really came and supported our students and the vendors. We had some amazing vendors, so creative, some of the items, and so talented. And our students, too, they had some beautiful items and baked goods that they made. So we had a wonderful turnout, and we're so thankful to the community.
Good. That's good to hear. I know that I took or participated in the PlayStation 5 raffle, and from the sounds of it, that is still going on. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we had a couple of our students are really into technology. So we were brainstorming on a way to raise money for the vault that would involve technology. Our first choice, we were going to build a gaming computer, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't find all the parts. So our next item was, let's get a really hard to find, sought after electronic item and raffle it off. Mm-hmm. And one of our students, Mason Costello, sat outside for hours in front of GameStop and was able to secure a PS5 bundle. So that's what we're raffling off. It is the PS5 with the controller. It's got PlayStation Plus, which is a year's subscription to the gaming service. Mm-hmm. And then it includes 3 games too. So it's a really nice bundle. It's worth about $800. And tickets start at $10 a piece, and they go up from there. It's $10 and you get 10 entries, and then you can get more as you pay more. Mm-hmm. You can, and the thing is, we're going to do the raffle. You can buy tickets through December 19th, I believe, till 5 p.m. And then on the 20th, we are going to have a live Facebook Live drawing for the PS5.
Oh, cool. I'll have to tune in for that, except for I don't have Facebook. Shoot. Oh, well, I guess
you can come to the vault and look through the window.
And I kind of had to do that to get my raffles in. So that was kind of interesting. By the way, Connie, someone is going to have to teach Tammy how about technology, because
Yes.
did you hear my interview with her last week? It was a riot, but at the same time, someone's going to have to teach that woman about technology. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, she's dipping her baby toe into things. Yes. So
Yeah.
we luckily have Wendy Dement, who is our bookkeeper, and she's amazing with technology. She actually put the raffle together online for us. So it's all online. You can come into the vault though and buy entries, and then we enter you into the raffle. We can manually do it too.
Mm-hmm.
So that is all set up now, and we've been posting it on Facebook. So if you look up the vault on Facebook, you can find the link. I believe it's on Instagram as well, or you can go to the vaultclinton.org. That's the website, and there's you just keep pressing the little right arrow on the front page till it shows the PS5 raffle, and you can click on that and get tickets that way as well.
Sure. Very good. So, that should be a great fundraiser, and hopefully you get a lot more interest in that as we continue to get closer to that. You said December 19th. Am I remembering that right?
That's correct. We
Yeah.
wanted to have it, at a time that would be, give people time to enter, and also before Christmas, so the winner can wrap it up and have it for Christmas.
For sure. Now, if I win, I'll just wrap it up and put it under my tree and be surprised on Christmas morning. So
you mean you won't be playing it? You should be sitting there playing it like 5 a.m. when your kids wake up.
Oh, Connie, I barely have time to play the video games I have, let alone a new one. So, but all of that said, again, Connie Unruh is with the TS Institute and First National Bank in Clinton. She's our guest on the phone here for this morning. So, money from the Christmas Bazaar, Connie, it goes back to the vault, correct?
It does. Well, first of all, the students who made their own craft items and bake sale items, they got to keep their money that they earned for selling their items. But then we had many, many, many volunteers bake extra baked goods and donate some crafts themselves. Paula Lepatic made a bunch of knit hats, and she sold a ton of them. All that money went to the vault, and then all of the vendor booth rentals also went to the vault. And First National Bank also made a donation, a $500 donation to the Bake Sale and Bazaar as well. They were planning on taking over and buying any leftover items that the kids didn't sell, and then giving them to people as Christmas gifts. But we only ended up with a very small handful of items left over. Most of them sold.
That's good. That's good to hear. Really good to hear. So,
yeah.
Very successful event, and you'll do it again next year, I hope, correct?
Yes, we're planning on doing it next year, and we're hoping that, the COVID will be done and we'll have more room for vendors. And it was really nice because we did it, the Wise doing their Christmas sale, and then there's I can't remember the name of it, the homeschooling group that they did one too, something Academy, Life Bridges Academy, is that correct? They had theirs as well on the same day. So it was nice. People got to do like a little tour and then went to the Mercantile down the street to do their Christmas shopping. So we're hoping to maybe get other businesses more involved next year and make it like a whole shopping day.
Very good. So that would be kind of interesting and a little twist on it. And like you said, maybe perhaps shortly after that, like Small Business Saturday type of environment as well. So very good.
Yeah.
Connie, did I miss anything, by the way, on BizzTown and the weekend past?
No, we were just so thankful to the community. The kids learned so much, and they're really learning a lot, like net profit, things like that, and just what sells, how to market. We know what we need to improve on. This week we'll be meeting to sit down and go over what worked, what didn't work, how can we make it better next year. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing, Connie, that I just kind of thought of here as we're talking, I was telling Tammy the other day, it is just astounding some of the things that these kids are learning that you're teaching them. It's and they're the other thing is that they're junior high kids. I mean, and I know you're familiar with the CEO program at the high school. I was telling Tammy, like, I can't wait for, I hope at least some of these kids participate in that program, because they're going to get in front of these businesses, and whether it's Melanie Brown still the facilitator of the program when they get there, or somebody else, they're going to be just so impressed with what these kids know. It really is. It's amazing what you're teaching them.
Well, that's sort of the goal, for this to be more of a taste of what's to come if they do join the CEO program. So yeah, I have some natural born salespeople in my group, and some of them just come up with the most creative business ideas. So when you're young, you're not afraid to fail, and I think you're a little bit more creative. So they think outside the box, so they come up with some great ideas.
Very good. So, Connie, I tell you what, by the way, again, did I miss anything in the BizzTown discussion you wanted to put out there for us? Awesome. Well, it's I'm a little ahead of a timeout, but I don't want to start our next discussion and have it interrupted by a commercial break. So let's just take that now. We'll come back with some more. What's the best way for folks to learn about, learn about BizzTown in the vault? And then when we come back, we'll kind of put your TS Institute hat on and go from there. But the best way for folks to learn about BizzTown, the vault, and all the things you've got going on.
They can go to thevaultclinton.org and check out the website. It's got the schedule for the month. It's got our PS5 raffle on there and lots of great pictures, and just learn how they can support the vault too. There's a wish list on there of items that the vault would like to get. So they can support the vault and see what we're doing to make a difference in the community.
Fabulous. That is Connie Unruh, TS Institute here in DeWitt County, along with the First National Bank in Clinton as well. Our guest on the phone, plenty more with her coming up on the WHOW Morning Show.
You're listening to The Morning Show, streamed by clicking the
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Tuesday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network. Corn starting today mostly lower, beans steady, and wheat opening lower. December corn 580 down 3.5. March corn 580.5 down 3. And December 22 corn unchanged 552.5. January beans 1258 3/4 down 2 3/4. March beans unchanged 1266.5, and November beans 1234.5 up 1/4. March wheat 801.5 down 4 3/4. May wheat down 4 3/4, 806.5. July wheat starting today 795 down 3 3/4. December bean meal 359.30, that's down 40 cents. And December bean oil 58.35 up 56 cents. A look at the opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Tuesday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network.
At Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City, our job is to help you and solve your transportation needs. This is Scott Baum. Both in Clinton or Farmer City, we'll listen and find options for a different vehicle, or we'll give you repair options to keep that car, truck, or SUV safe and trouble-free so you can continue with your busy schedule. If it has to do with transportation, we're here to help. Visit our full-service team today in Clinton or Farmer City. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson tells us live cashiers are important. Here's Dave with more.
The cashier actually doing the cashiering is pretty darn important, and the customers respond to that. We've gotten a tremendous response to our campaign reminding people that we have live cashiers.
You get live cashiers every time you save up to 40% off on your grocery bill at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. And as Dave always says,
and we hope to see you soon.
Today's morning show can be heard by downloading the free WHOW mobile app in your favorite store
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence, and on the phone with me is Connie Unruh with the TS Institute here in Clinton, as well as First National Bank. And Connie, we were talking about Christmas budgeting and the expenses that you and I both are taking on this Christmas and some adjustments we've had to make. And let's just kind of talk, Connie. I want to throw a few talking points your way here in a second, but I want to just get your first overall thoughts on budgeting at Christmas time and how we can make this an affordable Christmas in our homes.
You know what? First of all, Christmas sometimes just all of a sudden sneaks up on us and we haven't prepared for it. And what I mean by that is financially haven't prepared for it. So if that is your case, you haven't made a budget or put money aside, then Christmas can be really burdensome, because by the end of the year, then you're charging on a credit card and paying off Christmas for the next few months. So I always tell people to start the year with a plan in mind. So in January, start thinking, I need to put a little aside each month to cover Christmas. And maybe that means putting it in a separate little savings account at your bank. A lot of them will let you have what we used to call a Christmas account. You can do that at most banks. Have a little account, just put part of your paycheck in every month so you're ready. But if you're not, then you have to look at, what do I have and what can I afford, and then put a plan together.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You say that about, like take a little bit of your paycheck, put it in an envelope or something like that, or like you said, a separate account. So it's when Christmas comes, you're ready for it. In general, that's actually something I've done over the years for like vacations and stuff. I'll put, I've got a couple of side things I do, and I'll take a little bit of that cash and I'll put it into an envelope and, save up for some vacation time, or save up when we go on vacation and have some spending money there, or that actually pays for vacation sometimes as well. So just kind of depends, but that's a really, really good piece of advice. And, when you're talking about that aspect of planning, though, Connie, one thing that I found early on when I was doing this, and this kind of goes to this is kind of a bigger picture thing than just Christmas, but one thing I found was, we would encounter, and especially when we started to have kids, these things would come up a little more. We'd have expenses we weren't planning on, maybe a visit to the doctor, the kids outgrew their clothes and they needed more, or, they had grown and they needed new toys or something like that. So we had expenses we weren't really planning on, and it ended up, sometimes I use that money to use on those things, you know what I mean? And so it took away from that. And you want to, and I know that this is something that Dave Ramsey talks often about, is, you want to have like $1,000 emergency budget, for things like that. Something happens to your car, unexpected expenses, things of that nature. Do you mind speaking to that briefly?
Sure. Well, first of all, your kids are going to grow, and that there's certain things that in the future you're going to have to buy regardless. So of course we talk about having an emergency fund for unexpected expenses, like a car breaking or a water heater or something like that. But things like clothes, maybe toys, things like that, that's something you could put into your budget and set aside a little money each month so that you're prepared. Because you and I probably don't buy clothes every month, like the same amount of clothes, but you take the kids back to school shopping. But what if you have that money set aside in your checking account? You just put a little bit away every month so that when the time comes, you have that money available. So that's something that I carve into my budget. I have a line item for clothing for my family. And I just put, let's say you put $50 a month away. That's for, then that's earmarked for clothes for your family.
And I know that that's a process easier said than done, but, sometimes worth, talking about is, hey, set yourself up with an emergency fund, then you can start to put aside funding, money for Christmas and vacations and things of that nature once that's established. But I just wanted to bring that up, Connie, because it was a really good point. Any other budgeting topics that you want to get to here this morning?
Well, I would love to say that we need to look at how much money is coming into our household, like a bird's eye view. How much is coming in every month, and then how much needs to go out. So you need like a big overview of what's coming in, what's going out, and where do I want it to go. So you're sort of assigning where your money's going, and that's what we call a budget. And sometimes we don't spend that money every month, like on clothes. We might put some aside and then spend more the next month. So I would love to we do a class called Financial Freedom. I do it every semester. I'm doing it again in January at the Eastview Community Center in Bloomington on Wednesdays. And we dive in really deep on how to put a financial plan or budget together. And because we all forget things that we're spending money on or don't realize what we're spending our money on. And we do a lot of just reviewing what we're really spending our money on and where do we want it to go. So
sure.
Love to invite people closer to the date to that too.
You know, Connie, one thing my wife and I did recently, and we really just did this in passing. It wasn't like we went out with the intent of this happening, but we went to a thrift store looking for kind of some Christmas decorations, and ended up my kids were with us, and they were kind of browsing through some of the toys and the Christmas things that the store had, and they found, they were picking out like 3 or 4 things a piece that they both really liked. And we said, hey, you know what? Why don't we, wait till Christmas, see what happens. They're young enough. We do the Santa thing. So, why don't we wait and see what Santa brings? Maybe Santa knows you want this, that sort of thing. It got me thinking, maybe a trip to the thrift store, or, a couple of trips to various thrift stores you can find inexpensive ideas for your kids. And I have to admit, my kids are kind of, they're not like crazy bougie, but they've got some finer tastes with things. And so, just to have them perhaps look forward to that after they go through a thrift store or two, that I don't know. I found that to be somewhat of a decent idea.
Yeah. And you know what, if money's tight, and even if it's not, if you just want to save a little, you can always go on Facebook Marketplace and find lots of gifts for your kids. And a lot of times, you can have them sitting out unwrapped and put together, especially, maybe with a bow or something from Santa on Christmas morning. And they don't even know that it's a used gift. You know what I mean? That you got it at a resale shop. I know families that do all of their shopping at Goodwill, and they make it a challenge and a lot of fun. So there's lots of ways you can save money, or just put out on social media, hey, I'm looking for this item. Does anybody have it to sell?
Right.
Because how many times do you use ping pong table, but you want one in your basement?
Well,
Kids
Connie,
don't care if it's used.
Right. Exactly. Connie, I'm sorry to do this to you. We're having a great discussion, but I have to let you go. How do folks get a hold of you for all things Christmas budgeting and questions there very quickly?
They can call me at the bank, First National Bank. It's 935-2148.
That's Connie Unruh, TS Institute in Clinton, and First National Bank Network News is now.